brought to you almost live from the Dude in the Basement Studios. Why? Because that's where the good stuff is. It's Sips, Suds, and Smokes with your smoking hosts, the good old boys. Suds. It's time for more Suds.
Hello.
Hey, halo.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this Sud segment where good beer
in the room
meets.
I got to stop at halo.
No? You don't think that's a good greeting for us today?
Maybe, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say, well, I shouldn't say that.
Well, I'm going to say of the 42 typos on this script from Dave today,
fair enough.
That is not one of them, but I actually thought that I'd open up with one implying that it was a typo.
I'm going to revise my original statement and say, I've never been accused of having a halo.
The reference at the beginning of the show is you're smoking hosts. Okay, so it never says what the hosts are smoking.
Well, so this is the Sud segment where good beer meets bad radio, and we are the B in bad radio. That's for sure. Absolutely.
Right. Capital B.
Yep. So this is good old boy Mike here, and joining me here at the table is good old boy Dave.
Hello. My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
Six-fingered fool.
No, what was the hang time for you to pick that clip out? Is it like 17 minutes or longer?
He's always wanted to use that clip.
Let me put it to you this way.
Is it like a whole...
If I spend as much time working on the scripts,
is there like volume 1 and 2 of those choices on a CD that we can sell?
I got a few.
Get the introductions from good old boy Dave on Sip, Suds, and Smokes right now. Volume 1, 1995. Only $2 cost and shipping.
It's like 5 days picking out sounds, 5 minutes writing a script.
Yeah. I think there's, less time involved with all those. So I think there's a lot of padding. Also here at the table is good old boy Caperton.
Indeed. I am here at the table.
He is. I saw him.
Good evening, good afternoon, and good day.
Yeah, right.
To our legion of listeners.
Legions.
Sorry.
All I hear are people reaching for the on-off button.
Mike made it
there
plural.
has got to be something better on at 2 a.m. than these guys. So
There's not. I've done the research, and we own that.
We are the best thing on at 2 a.m.
We own that time.
This is a 1 hour show that's mildly entertaining for probably about 16 minutes today.
When are those going to start?
Is that a stretch goal?
When does the 16 start? Like, I don't see that in the script.
I don't know about that.
And there's another 500 people that just turned to another station. Yeah. So. Hey, we talk about a lot of great things here on Sip, Suds, and Smokes. On our Sud segments, we talk about beer, mead, cider. Today's episode, we're going to be covering beer. Today's episode is brought to you by Stuff and Things.
Stuff and Things. Do you like stuff? Do you need things? We have more stuff than anyone, and our things are very competitively priced. Stuff and things, things and stuff. Stuff and things and stuff and things. Now with more stuff.
Well, today's episode is all about beer for sure, and we're going to be talking about a 12-pack from, it's called the League of Heroes IPA Mixed 12-pack from Revolution Brewing. I agree. This didn't need like a hero theme
No
song.
Fanfare, no superhero fanfare.
Yeah, you need like a hero.
You had your thing all.
I never learned to read.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking that was
That's all I
more
got.
enough. Yeah. So definitely we'll tell you a little bit about Revolution Brewing here today. We're going to cover some of the beers from this 12-pack, and I am going to attempt to be mildly entertaining, probably around the 30-minute mark today is my goal. So
going to kick in.
Caperton is going to tell us a little bit about Revolution Brewing today.
Me?
Yes.
I am. I am indeed. It says here that I will. This is from their website, I assume. Their verbiage.
I did not freehand that.
Yeah, this is their verbiage, so I'm going to read as they state.
Our crack writing staff.
So
Not
when
even
I-
reformatted.
Well, when I say we here, I mean they.
It's the only
Just-
part of the script that doesn't have typos. I'm just
It
pointing that
is.
out.
It's tight.
We
It's
like
some
to
cut
let
and
the
paste stuff
brewery
going on
describe
here.
themselves in
We
their
do.
own words.
We do. That's probably the most.
I think that's
It's a
fair.
democracy.
Yes. They're not here to defend
How
themselves.
many U's in Revolution?
Viva la Revolution. Okay. According to their website, the change in the U.S. beer scene has undoubtedly been revolutionary.
Oh, wait, you left they are the
Oh,
Illinois'
yeah,
largest independently owned brewery. Dun, dun, dun.
Pardon me. That is indeed their statement is that they are the largest independently owned brewery in the state of Illinois. And as I was saying, they say that the change in the U.S. beer scene has undoubtedly been revolutionary. Get it? We are proud of what we have accomplished in our short time to become a leader and innovator in the industry. The evolving tastes of beer drinkers has demanded bigger flavors, more variety, and better beer. And they're on point there. I think so far so good.
Well, that's a good thing to aim for, because if they're aiming for worse beer, I would say, everybody has to have a goal.
Good point. Good point. That's exactly what we give you at Revolution Brewing.
See, I thought they were aiming to make better beer than people in Iowa.
That's cruel.
To who? The people in Illinois or the people in Iowa?
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. We don't know where he's going with that.
Meanwhile,
Yes.
He's been
back
drinking.
at the ranch. Between our brewery and our brew pub, we
Yeah.
produce dozens of different beer styles
Dozens.
every year. IPAs, porters, pilsners, Belgian-style ales, pale ales, barrel-aged beers. The list goes on.
No amber ales. Oh, I'm shocked.
The list doesn't go on here, apparently, but it does go on somewhere else. Our brewery has been a labor of love.
Oh, my God. I need a bucket.
Yeah, pass the tissues. You can see it in everything we do, from the beautiful details of our mahogany bar at the brew pub to the massive beauty of our 800 barrel fermenters at the brewery.
I'm hearing some soft berry mantle.
That's pretty big, though. I mean, come on, man.
800. What's 800 times 8? That's like a lot.
That's a lot.
It's like 6,400.
That's
like
a lot of.
It's like a big number that you
It's a
can't
lot of
add
beers.
up.
Did that math right in my head.
Here, you can
today.
use my fingers, Dave.
It's a lot of beers.
Here's one for you. Forgot to carry the one.
There are 800 barrel fermenters at the brewery to
The commitment.
to quality
There you go.
in each beer that we put in a can or a keg.
I'm
not
glad
sure where
you're
that
doing
sentence.
this.
I'm not sure where that sentence went.
And
I
you're
mean,
seeing what it's like when Mike continually butts in and interrupts.
Oh, I didn't. Look, commitment is a big word. There's almost 12 letters in that word.
I broke my own stride at the wrong point in that sentence. Is what happened there. Revolution believes in the value. We're almost done, folks. Revolution believes in the value of hard work. Well, screw that, man. I mean, but anyway, I don't know. We work hard to provide our great accessible brews for everyday people. All right, I get where they're going there. We have fun doing what we do and hope you have fun drinking our beers.
Oh, yes. Let's
Exclamation
have some fun.
point.
Want to have some fun.
And that's it.
So, Anti-Hero is Revolution's flagship IPA, and the League of Heroes is a series of mixed 12 packs featuring Anti-Hero and a rotating set of 3 spinoffs that each feature a different hop or flavor. And here is today's lineup from Revolution Brewing. Anti-Hero IPA, which we just talked about, is in every 12 pack. Tropic Hero, Crystal Hero, and Amarillo Hero are the beers we're going to talk about on today's episode.
Mr. Caperton, would you please give us the Suds ratings? Unless Mike wants to do them in his best impression of a native Chicagoan.
Chicagoan.
I mean,
on the fly.
Since we haven't been banned from Chicago yet.
That's true. We've not been banned from most of Chicago.
Which part have we, or the south side? We can't go there.
That's true. Although that's probably not politically correct.
Can't
Most
go
of
to
the things that I'm
Wrigleyville.
thinking, about. So
Can't go to, what's that, Lincoln Park? Can't go there.
yeah, we could definitely go to Lincoln Park. It's Hipsterville. That's right.
I went to a great concert once, right there across from Wrigley Field, at a place called Cubby Bear.
Yeah, definitely.
Who'd you see?
The band Gong. I'm glad you asked. It was one of the most amazing concerts. It was
Really?
amazing. Yeah, but it was at a sports bar. And
Gong.
It was Gong. Yes, progressive rock. Look it up.
Prog rock?
Prog rock.
Oh,
I think the biggest conversation I think I've ever heard in Lincoln Park is, so like this one time Billy went to Milwaukee and he was gone for like the whole weekend, and he came back and he just didn't love me as much when he came back from Milwaukee. I'm not really quite
hanging
sure.
out with teenage girls at Lincoln Park?
yeah,
Is that
well,
what you're telling
it's
me?
I don't like
Hipsterville.
Lincoln Park because I don't like
Oh, yeah.
the band Lincoln Park. But
Yeah.
I
Hey.
do like Wicker Park because who doesn't like Wicker?
Oh my God, I do not like her. Have you seen
I
her
don't like,
dog?
I don't like Wicker because it always feels like it's breaking when you sit on it.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe that's just me.
No,
I like
that's
that in
just
a
you.
pinch. You could probably make a wicker chair if you knew how.
We should have our listeners
You could
send
make
in.
any kind of chair
Like
if you
I
knew
look at a
how.
wooden chair and I'm like, I couldn't make that thing. But when I look at wicker chairs, I'm like, you know what? I can make a friendship bracelet. I'm pretty sure I can make wicker chair.
Hang on, let me write this down. So the entire
I
show
don't even know if you
completely
could go
degraded
find
at
Wicker.
the 12-minute mark.
Define friendship bracelet. I said that.
We're gonna have to think about all
This
of
is
our
what
furniture
happens
choices.
when we have too much time on this
We're
show.
gonna have
What
to think
happens when-
about our furniture.
When Juliana's not here to keep us in
probably.
line.
This is we're it's mayhem.
I think I
Wicker.
need to pour more beer in my glass before we get right after this break. We'll be right back.
Rolling clouds and crashing surf, iridescent dunes reflecting by the light of a rising, glowing moon. Seashore mesmerizing, night breeze hypnotizing. We've come across these back roads none too soon. Look to the left, to the right. Keep your eyes on the road, my darling. Wondering if we're only passing through. Open roads and open windows. My hand is yours forever, sweet love.
Hey, welcome back to Knitting with Nancy. I'm sorry. No,
Nancy had to leave.
Crocheting with Connie.
We had to send Nancy out on a beer run, so
Friendship bracelets with Dave.
I knew I had the wrong script in front of me again.
this is what you
so-
get.
Hey, welcome back to Sips, Suds, and Smokes. On today's episode, this is a Suds show, and we were talking about beers from Revolution Brewing and covering 4 of the beers from the mixed IPA pack.
Attack.
Pack attack.
One of those.
12 pack attack.
Yep. And so we were just discussing exactly what people would sound like from Chicago and native Chicagoan. And so
Apparently, we don't know.
we have no clue. Send in your favorite clip of what you would sound like reading the Suds ratings in your favorite Chicago outfit. And,
and send us a picture.
yeah, sure.
Because
Yeah,
otherwise,
I agree.
we won't know.
Yeah. I got like a guy that, it looks like he's from Canada that's
Some guy
wearing
in a-
a Bears jersey and going, I can read these.
Yeah.
I
And
drifted away for like
no
2
pants.
seconds, and I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
So you're
you
going
could have
completely
stayed
lost.
right
you're
in
going to
it.
read the Suds ratings for everybody. Let them know what we're going to be
Yes.
doing today. so.
Oh, but not in a Chicagoan
Yeah,
voice.
oh yeah.
right?
Oh, you can
If
go
you
for it.
can, yes. But if not,
If I can.
then still
Although we are
yes.
going to rate your.
I'm thinking of the Blues Brothers, and I'm thinking
Okay.
of Dan Aykroyd.
All right.
But I just am thinking of
No, that's pretty
Just
good.
picture that in your mind while you're reading.
Anywho, our Suds ratings. Am I up?
Dun, dun,
Or
dun,
am I
dun,
on?
Yeah,
for the
you're
Suds
on.
rating.
Do it.
Okay. Today we will be using what is in the industry known and proclaimed, and exclaimed to be one of the most definitive scientific methods of rating beers on the planet.
We're going to owe somebody some money.
And that, excuse me, that is our Suds ratings with our signature belching sounds. And it's not the number of belches, I would like to point out.
Belching sounds.
It's
by
the
way.
duration. The number actually represents the duration.
Vast research went into this.
Shorter is worse, longer is better.
That's what they say.
We're going from low to high here. So here we go. Our ratings will be as follows. A rating of 1 would represent, that sucks. Give me anything but an episode of Joni Loves Chachi. I got to get with the team.
Was that season 1 or season 2?
I got to get with the team.
There was
on
only
that.
season 1.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There was only one season of Joni Loves Chachi.
If there's any justice in
What
the
a
universe.
cultural tragedy.
I don't like that guy anymore. That Chachi guy.
Chachi didn't love Joni enough.
And
That's
Joni,
what happened.
I don't know what happened. Didn't Joni?
not good as
was
a
there a tragedy
political
with Joni?
speaker.
Anyway,
She,
back to our belching
She
radius.
died in a trailer.
Someday.
Yeah, there was some tragedy there.
Or maybe in a hospital.
A Suds rating of 2, which is like only one better than a 1, and that is.
But it's also double.
Hang on a
It
second.
is.
Let me
It
use
is
my left
twice better.
hand. 1.
So a rating of 2 would be. Was that a belch? Was that a belch?
It sounded like maybe it was.
Maybe.
Okay. A rating of 3. What a relief. Thank you. A rating of 4. We're getting now close to the top here. Rating of 4
Getting
is
close
a
to
body.
something.
A body should not really make that sound.
Somebody's body did make that sound, though.
That did. I heard it.
I cannot confirm or deny anything that my aunt did.
There we go. There we go. Keep it in the family.
Your aunt's impressive.
Keep it in the family. And our highest rating reserved for only the finest,
The pinnacle.
the apogee,
Ooh, I like that. The apogee. The apex.
Bring in the bucket.
the top, the top of the heap
The just
is a rating of 5. And that is, listen to that hang time, give me another. There it is.
and that was Mike's aunt.
I can almost hear them calling.
She was
you now.
hungry, though. In her defense,
All of my aunts are going to be calling. Were you talking
she
about?
was
me?
hungry and she had a really good beer.
Mike, let's not pretend that your aunts listen.
Yeah, that's true. There you go.
Let's not be too presumptive here.
Hey, let's charge into some beer to talk about from Revolution Brewing out of Chicago. So up first is going to be the flagship beer, the Anti-Hero IPA. Our flagship. I didn't
What
say
happened?
that.
What happened?
It
there?
was the way that Dave typed
Banned
it here.
once again.
I know that. See, you thought that I said something, but I need to.
I heard flagship.
Yep, that's the way I said it. I was enunciating I was talking in a native Chicagoan accent. That's what it was. So.
Oh, then you did say flag.
Oh yeah, I totally did. Anti-Hero IPA, our flagship IPA, is supremely aromatic, crisp, and drinkable. This iconic ale features a blend of Chinook, Centennial Crystal, and Citra to create a crisp, clean bitterness and imparts massive floral or citrus aromas. The Warrior hop is also used to add additional bitterness to the brew. An American hop assault.
Feels racist.
Yes, it was. An American hop assault for all the ambivalent warriors who get the girl in the end. Look, I ain't in this for your revolution, but I'm not in it for you, princess. So this is 6.5% ABV.
That was a Star Wars quote, wasn't it?
No, that's not how you pick up chicks. 6.5% ABV. So.
If you had a Millennium Falcon, you could probably pick up some chicks.
This is going to be something.
There's a guy here in Nashville the home headquarters of the Sips Suds
corporate
and Smokes.
headquarters.
Yes. Who has one in his backyard? He's building one to scale.
A to-scale Millennium Falcon.
So the funny thing is, we really don't know what a scale Millennium Falcon is, right? I mean,
well,
it's
you got to
kind of a
use
made-up thing.
It's like, where do you start with that? It's like, honey, I am going to go out back and I am going to build a full-scale model of the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, I would
It's
like to have met his spouse, because that would have been...
I would
probably
say
would've-
his third wife
I
is
saw him
really
give a
patient
speak.
woman.
I'd say you
saw
probably
him-
would have liked to have met her before she left.
Yeah.
I saw him speak at a thing here in town, one of those science.
Yeah, how I killed my third husband. Once he was building the Millennium Falcon. That's
Anyway,
probably what
so-
you
Anyway, I butted in there. I'm
Would
sorry.
like,
But
well,
I
no,
think
like-
I think that's a Star Wars quote. Look, I ain't in this for your revolution, and I'm not in it for you, princess.
Right.
That
That's
was-
what Han
that was
Solo
Han
says.
Solo.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
got that.
Nice.
Yeah, he's the anti-hero.
Good,
See?
good. So we're all in agreement.
Yep. Thank you. Welcome to the party there, Caperton.
Yep.
All right. So the beer itself is only rated at 65 IBUs. We're going to talk a little bit about this, and then we're going to tell you what our rating is for this at the end. I don't know. What do you guys think of the flagship, IPA here from Revolution? Does it feel flagshipy?
I mean, it's a good Midwestern IPA, I think. I mean, it's pretty clean. I got kind of resin from the hops. So they don't really mention resin. Like
No.
they're talking like tropical and floral. And I get a little bit of floral. I don't get much tropical. I get more floral and resin. So it's kind of got like a West Coast hop profile to me. Without the caramel, so I think that's what you call Midwest. Plus, they're in Chicago, so that's like Midwest. So that's why I said it was a Midwest.
For those geographically challenged, the answer is yes.
Huh?
I don't know. I just kept saying Midwest. See when you guys would cut me off.
Well, it's just like
No, I
this
don't
is
know.
like IPA like 1.0 city though, right?
What?
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying is that this was like a beer that was created when IPAs were really just kind of coming into the fold. I mean,
Yeah.
Yes.
this tastes like something that was invented like maybe 8 months after Sierra Nevada Pale Ale came
Yeah,
out.
5-10 years ago or something.
Yeah,
like
you
that. I
know,
don't know.
it has that very classic.
It's very
you know,
classic.
All
All of these beers had a classic quality.
I think at
to
this
them, I
point in America, having your flagship beer being IPA is kind of a crapshoot because everybody's got an IPA, and IPA flavors change so rapidly now.
Yep.
It's like, it's like iPhones. Every time you look around, I got another one. A little bit different, a little bit bigger, still crappy compared to Android. Suck that, Apple. But like, yeah, I mean, I think if this was the IPA you've been drinking for a long time because you're a Revolution fan and everything, yeah, it's probably your go-to beer.
Yeah, I
could
bet
definitely see that.
This is widely available on a lot of pull handles and taps.
Yeah.
Because I think it was a timing thing that happened in the Chicago market that when Goose was snapped up.
Yeah.
There were a lot of people who said, "Well, I'm
There
not
was
going to have
backlash.
I'm not going to
Yeah.
have 8 taps from InBev, on my wall. I want
Yeah.
something that's local."
That was their step up.
Yeah, and I think Revolution basically seized a lot of that market opportunity
They're
and
like, hey,
from a lot of that backlash.
here we go.
Yeah. And I think that's the reason why I think you see Revolution was widely available it was a timing thing.
I'm sure if you're going to, like you go to probably concerts in Chicago, I'm sure this is probably everywhere. And,
Yep.
you go see the Bears get murdered, on a Sunday or something by like pretty much any other team in the NFL. Sorry, I had to take a shot at the Bears. I know, that's rough.
The Bears.
Hey, it's not 85 anymore. But I think this is probably, one of those beers that you get, we kind of compared it to Yazoo, in Nashville. Like, it's the big regional brewery that's not, macro brewery, but it's the biggest name in the area. And so you get the beer that's probably not the the best IPA in Chicago, but it's a good, solid IPA that a lot of people around there probably drink.
These 12 packs might be the riskiest thing they do. You know what I mean? Like
how?
Well, that they're sort of a little more creative. Like these beers all seemed really solid, though. And I think when I think of, although we don't have distro here for them, do we?
No.
But I've certainly heard their name like everywhere.
They were on Brew Dogs.
Yeah. So, that explains it.
And now they're on Sip, Suds, and Smoke. So,
Well,
But-
now everyone will hear of them. You're welcome, Revolution.
But there doesn't. I don't know. This doesn't seem like a risk-taking brewery to me. Maybe I'm wrong. Am I?
well, I think that it's one of those groups that they are acknowledging that they want to serve a certain geography, and that concept of making bigger brews and distributing them, on a more a larger geographic basis. I just don't think they've chased that. I think they've said, listen, we want to stay within 500 miles of Chicago,
Yeah.
and so yes, we want to serve our beer, in Milwaukee or in the southern
We're
part
going
of
to saturate as
Wisconsin,
many areas or places within that area.
We want to serve these, in Indiana. We want to stay, close where our beers can remain fresh. We're not having to put fermenters, all the way through the roof, and
I think that's a big point you just made about freshness too.
Yeah.
Is if you try to go too far with these beers, you kind of risk sacrificing that. Put them in the back of a truck or whatever, and they're going a long way. It's hard to keep stuff fresh, especially when there's a million IPAs out there that people may not buy if you're just one more out of town name.
Anything else about the flagship beer, Caperton?
I think it seemed really accessible to me. It did seem like a flagship beer. I thought of all of these beers, seemed the most
Flagshipiest.
Yeah, it was more balanced than the others. I mean, I think that would stand to reason though, that these other beers are a little more experimental for the brewery to kind of stretch out and try some different stuff alongside the flagship. But I thought it was pretty. I thought it was a well-turned example of the style.
Well,
if this was available at a ballpark, I'd buy it in a heartbeat.
There you
go. And I think that's exactly what they were trying to tap into. I think they wanted to make sure there was a good solid IPA.
Not
on
a lot
every
of caramel,
pour handle.
maybe a little bit of amber. I don't
Maybe,
know.
but not much.
Not much. It was
pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
I didn't have the description in front of me as I was tasting this. So, I mean, some of my own tasting notes, I wrote down, I thought it had Amarillo and Equinox in it, even though I don't think either one of those were in the hop profile. I thought it was dank, bitter, very earthy. And it was very distinctive kind of citrus bitterness that was going on. And I was really trying to figure out exactly what that was. It was tamarind was, part of what I was talking about with Juliana when we were tasting this. I thought it was a little bit too sweet, kind of for me. That was one of the things I was a little, reminded me of an IPA that was, crafted like, 8 years ago. I think it has that kind of taste profile. Still very solid beer, So I think that's pretty much they went after the taps on the wall, and I think they wanted to have a broad range and appeal and not, create a hot bomb that was 100 IBUs. Yeah. And, Aunt Martha is not going to drink that beer. So
I think this would appeal to a range of broads. So
this is the lowest IBUs of this bunch too.
Yep. Well, our Suds rating here for the Anti-Hero IPA from Revolutionary Brewing is going to be a 3. Well, next up in our lineup today is going to be the Tropic Hero. And here is the brief description on Tropic Hero. It is another IPA. Our newest hero surfing onto the scene is Tropic Hero. The American IPA is brewed with two-row and pale malts to establish a smooth malt profile and golden color. We used Apollo, Warrior, Crystal, Cascade, and Amarillo hops in the brew house to achieve an intense but clean bitterness and aromas and flavors of fresh flowers and citrus juice. Near the end of fermentation, we dry hop this beer with Mosaic Citra Crystal and an experimental hop number 438 to infuse this IPA with notes of tropical fruit.
Not 438.
And freshly grated citrus rind. Are they missing something from this? Is the kitchen sink in here? Is there like fresh air from Dubuque or something that needs to be in here?
Could be.
The resulting beer is both clean and crisp, bursting with tropical fruit character. Hello. And very easy drinking, even at 70 IBUs or 7% ABV. Well, there you have the quick description on Tropic Hero. What do you think about this one?
It's interesting that it's like 7%. That's right,
Excuse
Zoe.
me.
You tell
Our
him.
studio dog.
Sorry, pardon me.
She's a fan of Tropic Hero.
I can
That's
hear
what.
it,
Yeah.
I had some Fritos on the way. That's
Chili cheese.
it happens. Yeah.
Those are good.
What do you think about Tropic Hill?
Sorry.
So Tropic Hero, this was my favorite one of the group. I thought it was interesting that it was a little bit higher ABV, but I think that it to me is the sweetest of the group. On the front end, I think it does have a bitterness that rides out on the back end of the taste. But I thought it was really good.
Caperton, any thoughts on Tropic Hero?
Yeah, I agree. I think I wrote down here that it almost played like a pale ale, like a slightly more robust pale ale with a little more bitterness. I thought the bitterness seemed soft. I'm a little surprised to read their little blurb here because I would disagree that it packs a huge bitter. It
Right,
seemed
I
really
agree,
soft. Yeah. Almost like a Northeastern IPA. I think it's the hop selection there. They were juicy. It was certainly aptly titled.
Agree.
Yeah.
Good mouthfeel too.
Yeah.
Well, we'll talk a little bit more about Tropic Hero from Revolution Brewing right after we come back from this break.
It's not just the destination, but baby, the whole elation of riding down this lover's avenue. As slow as a willow blows, or as fast as the whirlwind grows, we glide beneath the stars in cobalt blue. Look to the left, to the right, keep your eyes on the road, my darling, wondering if we're only passing through. Open roads and open windows, my hand is yours forever, sweet love. Our eyes ahead on these back roads with a view.
Hey, welcome back to Sips, Suds, and Smokes. On today's episode, we're discussing, on today's Suds episode, we're talking about Revolution Brewing League of Heroes. It's a IPA 12-pack, and we're going through about 4 beers from that. We're discussing Tropic Hero in that pack right now. So Caperton we were talking about what it wasn't, which was you thought, with all those hops that,
Right.
it would be a lot better.
What did they say here?
I mean, it was like 42 different hops.
So like a big blast of hop, whatever. But it was like you said, it was kind of soft and smooth.
Yeah. I agree. This was probably my favorite of the bunch for sure.
Yeah.
A few notes that I had. It was interesting, sweet, malty. It had a kind of an orange bitterness overtone, to it.
Absolutely.
The big thing I wrote down around this was this really the plan? It tasted like a beer that they sat down and they were going somewhere else and they wound up in a different spot and they went, oh, well, of course that's what we were aiming for at the end of the day, And it tasted like one of those beers that just had a unintended target,
It's quite pungent.
Yeah, which, can be a good thing or something that's, not so good. I think, between all these, this was my least favorite of the flight. But I can see that this would,
well.
yeah. But I can see this would appeal to a lot of people that maybe are not.
As cool as you.
No.
There it is.
I think maybe
You knew it was headed that
regular
way,
beer
didn't you?
drinkers. I can
Regular
see,
beer drinkers.
I think,
Wow.
you know.
So we're abnormal beer drinkers, Caperton.
you just don't even want to talk about what we are.
Okay.
So,
I'll go with that.
Well,
I'll wear
fine.
that.
That's fine.
I'll wear that.
well, our Suds rating for Tropic Hero from Revolution Brewing is going to be a 3.
Good job, Tropic Hero.
Yep.
Way to save the
Solid 3.
We got 2 more beers to talk about here, and next up is going to be the
Crystal Hero.
Crystal
I'm getting
Hero.
the description here in front of me.
day. That actually sounds like a kind of like an actual.
Like a superhero.
It sounds like a stage
you know.
name of some kind. Here is Crystal Hero from Milwaukee. All right, so Crystal Hero IPA, a crisp and refreshing IPA exploding with fresh floral hop character, named for a somewhat forgotten yet amazing hop variety named Crystal. A unique hopping program gives this beer a massive, clean bitterness and fresh hop aroma bursting with hints of citrus and fresh fruit. This is 7.2% ABV, and it is 75 IBUs. What do you guys think about Crystal Hero from Revolution Brewing?
This was probably my least favorite of the flight here.
Tell us about it, buddy.
I just, I did get the bitterness. There was like a nice bitterness. I'm not super familiar with the Crystal hop.
You
I'll
find
admit.
Crystal to be kind of bitter.
She's a bitter.
When she gets that finger going and that head snapping around, you
She's
know.
been through a lot.
But
man.
I get bitterness and not a whole lot else.
She's
I mean,
been hurt,
a little
dude.
bit of maybe a little bit of
How dare you
fruitiness
talk
on the
about
nose.
my hops that way? I can't believe you talk about me and my mama that way. And the way you just...
Well, it was mostly me.
I feel like Mike knew a girl named Crystal, and that's where this comes from.
I think we've all been touched by Crystal at some point in all of our
Well,
lives.
you know,
I know I have.
one place or another.
She had
In our
quite the
lives,
touch.
I mean. In
I'm
our
just
lives.
glad there were no
One
cell
place or
phones back
another.
then.
Oh, but yeah,
Call me Crystal.
This to me, it was it like all of these beers seem very clean and very cleanly
Yeah.
bittered, except for maybe the Tropic.
Yeah, that was definitely the big thing I wrote down right off the bat. Absolutely, this is crisp and clean.
Yeah.
Squeaky clean. There's definitely no smuddling about. The sugars just, totally gave way and, out of this. And
I think
it was
you know,
borderline
since
lager,
they're-
I thought.
Since they're not using a lot of caramel malts or anything like that, I mean, the malt bill is just there to be a backdrop for the hops, pretty
Yeah.
much. you know.
And that makes sense. I think this beer for me just suffers with the hop selection.
You think this is why Crystal is a forgotten hop
Maybe
that
so.
people don't use all
Maybe
the
so.
time?
I don't know if it's a dual purpose. I don't know if it's an aroma and a bittering hop, or if it's just thought
I think
of.
I think Caperton's crawling into the brewer's head here and trying to,
Oh, that's discouraged.
Digging
too.
around.
I think
Sorry.
that's what's going on here.
It's
I'm
discouraged
curious.
here.
I'm just curious.
Dave, what'd you think about Crystal Hop or Crystal Hero? I'm
Crystal
sorry.
Hero. Yeah, this was not my least favorite one, but it was probably bottom 2. And I think it's not that it's a bad beer. I actually like it. It's just that it's just kind of meh. It's nice, but I tried it right after the Tropic Hero, which is my favorite, and I think it didn't stand up.
Well, and that's true. So I think, the Tropic Hero was, it had a lot of body to it and a lot of sugars, that are around that. Plus you had, all of those hops that were going on. To me, this is a lot more simplistic.
This
crisp,
one might be
crisp,
more
clean.
like a pale ale to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I didn't know this was an ale, I would have almost accused it of being a lager because it was that crisp.
Yeah.
And even as it's warmed up here, it's still holding quite a bit of that, in place, which
An
is very
IPL.
difficult.
Yeah.
It according to the interwebs, it is indeed an aroma hop.
Okay.
So ship that 50-pound bag of Crystal hops here to Sip Suds and Smokes.
Back to the
Attention, Caperton. So we'll see if he wants to.
descriptors include woody and green.
Negative, Ghost Rider. I don't believe so.
Well, maybe now that
I can see the green.
yeah.
Kind of almost like grassy a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing I wrote down about Crystal Hero is it tasted like they were chasing a taste profile of a macro beer. And it almost sounds like, again, they were thinking about how is this going to hold up on a tap wall? And how are we going to display a macro beer that's there? And
I can see that.
In the pursuit of a beer for every guy.
It felt like a flavor profile of a couple of macro brews, that I really felt like they were kind of going after. I don't know if that was really what they were thinking, but certainly in the glass and the taste profile was like, okay, this tastes like, so.
I kind of think they just were like, we got a bag of crystal hops. We should probably do something with this thing.
It could be that simple.
It
could be that
Let's
simple.
see. The people that we're going to brewers, we're going to piss off. So there's that guy Caperton.
Yeah.
We're going to piss him off, and he's not going to say anything nice about using crystal.
Aroma.
So yeah,
Whatever.
We like Crystal. She's nice.
Well, our Suds rating here for Crystal Hero from Revolution Brewing League IPAs is going to be a 3 as well. I'm sensing a bit of a theme here.
A low 3.
All right. They are,
For
well,
me.
yeah, this
For me,
one.
a low 3.
Yeah.
It was right on the bar.
We know exactly where you are.
She fell over that bar and right into a 3.
Right
but
on
it's
the bar.
there. It's still a 3.
Well, we have one
Counts.
more beer to go over here in our flight, which is the Amarillo Hero IPA. And here's the description from the brewery. Amarillo Hero showcases the hop's intense citrus and floral notes. A simple, delicate malt bill allows the fruit basket of aromas to take center stage, while a touch of Cascade and Mandarina, did I say that right?
Yes, you did.
I faked my way all the way through that one, layered and amplify this Hero Juicy's characteristics. Clean bitterness rounds this beer out, resulting in a crisp, refreshing IPA. The ABV is 7.2%, and this is also at 75 IBUs. Definitely a theme going on for sure. So this, you think, is basically the same mash bill, but they just swapped out, the hop profile off this?
I think they bump up some of them to make them higher gravity to maybe match up with the more bitter hops or something. I don't know.
The numbers on this?
Because they range from 6.5 to 7.5.
7.2 and 75 IBUs.
So it's bordering a double. Am I wrong? I mean, and that's one thing.
It's creeping into the gray area.
I wrote that this
You can
tasted,
definitely feel a
this
lot more
tasted
sugar
a lot
off
like a
this.
double to me.
Yeah. You can definitely feel a lot more sugar off this.
Yeah.
Amarillo's an aggressive hop, though, I think,
So
to me.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going out of turn here.
Do it. Go ahead,
There is
man.
a turn,
Say
but
it.
I didn't get
Just
a
say
ton of Amarillo here, man. I mean, I got a ton of Cascade though. I mean,
Yeah.
I really taste that coming through.
Interesting.
I think the Amarillo is that bitter, like that just kind of sits there through the whole
Yes,
ride.
when I think of Amarillo, I mean, there are a lot of beers out there. There's one here locally that's huge. I mean, it's a powerhouse for one of the local breweries in their pale ale. It just lacks a lot of that mango sort of like whatever.
I think it's when
quality.
you use the Amarillo, though.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I think
And there are other hops here, but
Yeah.
I really get a lot of Cascade here for me.
it was really surprising just how smooth this was. I mean,
As it's warmed, I'd
know.
almost give this a 4.
this.
I'm jumping ahead. I'm
Sorry.
Oops.
I just, I really thought I didn't have the description in front of me when I was tasting these, and I wrote down pretty smooth, and I just don't think of this as really a very hoppy, IPA version because of that smoothness. And the sweetness had, I actually wrote down kind of a ramping effect. It kind of starts and builds and builds and builds, on that
Yeah.
sweetness. It's not like something that comes in and, there's sugar plums and lollipops and going, I'm here and I'm the sweetness in this taste profile,
This guy is all about sugar plums and
Yeah.
fairies.
Like
and
I
stuff.
said, there's-
Dancing through his head.
Yeah,
constantly.
there's a lot going
It's
on
quite
in
pungent.
between these ears. So, but I really thought the hop profile itself was very subtle in this.
I think it got. I agree with Caperton. I think it got better as it warmed up.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. It was
and
also the first beer I tried.
the tropical nature. I still don't like the weird Village People cowboy
Yeah.
guy on the
This
on
can.
the can.
Oh, was this the one that had the boots
So
with the
over there.
fringe
I think
on
it's
it?
a Chicagoan's impression of what a cowboy
Oh,
is.
that's funny.
That's like
'Cause he's got a-
City Slickers.
He's a
No,
hop,
no.
He's a hop cowboy.
Yeah.
What's the Jack Sparrow? This looks like Jack Sparrow
But there's a
in
little
disco
Star Wars
video.
going
It's
on
not
there.
It's
There's
not
little-
a pirate.
And he's got a lasso, and there's a cowboy hat in the background.
He's looking for a fella. No.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. This is something spit out of a
He's
disco.
poking them dogies is what he's doing out there, that hop cowboy.
Hello, I'm from
space.
Indiana.
From
I'm here to
space.
drink IPA.
Mike, what are you doing? What was
Oh, no. It's just a leg. Honestly, I've got another one.
It's like, I'm sorry. It's just, I'm staring at this picture. I'm like, who puts fringe on their
fringy
boots?
cowboy boots? I forgot. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
Bon Jovi boots on
Could
that
be,
cowboy.
I mean, that was a thing back. I know people who might have worn fringe moccasin boots back in the.
Wow. Oh, yeah. We're going to dig up those pictures. I'm sure those are going to hit the interwebs
Hey.
rather soon.
Everybody had their hippie days.
This is awesome.
Oh,
This is
yeah.
awesome. This is
It's
So-
all college.
Did what color were they, Dave?
They were like natural tan.
the moccasin.
hide.
You've seen
Yeah.
them. I can
Yeah.
see them. I
And
can see.
did
I
it
can
come
see
with
you
your
wearing
favorite CD?
That's not cool.
them. He had to mow a lot of lawns to get those moccasin boot fringe things.
I'm thinking,
I had to turn in a lot of glass bottles.
Hanging out at the
Yeah.
Motley Crue show
get
with
the,
your fringy moccasins.
Dude, it was not a Motley Crue or Bon Jovi.
Bon
thing.
Jovi.
I was
No,
thinking
it
it was going to be the guy from Wham, And I'm going to have faith.
What?
I'm going to have faith.
What?
No, you
No.
don't think that?
No.
You don't think French boots goes with?
No, Mike.
No,
No.
I
No.
don't think so.
No?
No. But every Bon Jovi fan I've known
Every Bon Jovi fan.
has a fetish for leather fringe.
There it is. Okay.
There it is. Send me your hate mail. Send the hate mail to good old boy Caperton at Sip Suds and Smoke.
So, do you think you would have?
Send it to Caperton at Kiss My.
Grits. Kiss my grits.
So, but I mean, would you be going after the beer? Would you be going after the boots, or would you be going after the music?
You
Or-
gotta have the boots to get the beer while you're listening to the music.
see. I'm thinking that's the wrong order. First off, you're
Maybe
going,
you drink a bunch of the beer.
I think you're going after the girl, and then you're getting the music, and then you're getting the boots
It's
to go
always
with
about
it. See?
At
It's
what
about
point?
it's about the order.
What point does the beer come in?
Oh, that's like probably way after she stood you up and went, "Oh my
Oh,
god!"
then you're like hammered.
I
Then
loved you
go get
until you
hammered.
had those boots, and they're leather, and yeah.
Girls
right.
like the boots, dude. I'm telling you.
They do.
They
They
like
do.
the boots.
I'm gonna go date, Billy from
And they like a
Indiana
guy
instead.
that'll wear fringe. I think, generally speaking, the fairer sex, they appreciate a guy that'll wear fringe.
So where do you put that on your resume? I can actually wear fringe and leather.
Well, that's the thing. You don't have to put
I'm
it
not
on your
an
resume
online
'cause
dater.
people
You're
just
hired.
know.
There's probably a spot for that.
Oh, so you're saying you should use it for a dating profile, not as a job,
Sure. Yeah,
a
put
job
that on your-
Definitely.
qualification.
Look, I don't know.
Put
When
that
I was
on your
single,
Tinder.
when I was
Put
single,
that on
there
your
was,
Tinder photo.
there was, and you know
I
it's
love
and
long
you know
walks
it's out there,
and fringy leather.
and you know it's
Yes,
out there.
fringed leather.
Anyway,
And Bon Jovi.
did we ever rate this thing?
We're getting there eventually.
Amarillo.
Oh, yeah.
Amarillo Hero. We
Yeah.
love you, Amarillo. By the way,
Yep. So we'll we'll keep up the conversation after. So Amarillo Hero IPA from Revolution Brewing. Our Suds rating for that is going to be a 3. So, exactly what type of dating profile would you think would actually? So you're thinking Tinder?
sure. I wouldn't say grinder.
It's like,
there it is.
yeah, I knew this was coming down.
Could be plenty of fish, I guess, at this
That
point.
is some
And,
solid logic.
And
there.
we've been banned from a dating site.
What's that
now,
one?
Dave.
Farmers Only? There's-
We've all been banned from dating sites.
yeah.
Probably
Yes.
this is not the first one.
Well, I can't believe that we actually go through, this entire conversation without any temporary restraining orders. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and you can catch all of our episodes online as well as SoundCloud, TuneIn, Stitcher, YouTube, Google Play, PRX, iHeart, and Spreaker, our native media host. iTunes, Google Play, and our own Android app are the easiest ways to enjoy the show on your phone. Just search for Sips, Suds, and Smokes on iTunes or in the Google Play Store.
We love your feedback, and you can reach us online at I kind of gave it a southern drawl there. Online at info@sipsudsandsmokes.com.
Our daily tasting notes flow out live on Twitter and Instagram every day at @SipSudSmokes, and our Facebook page is always buzzing with lots of news.
And please, oh please, oh please, will you please take the time to rate this episode if you're listening online. And remember, 5 is our favorite number.
Well, I want to thank my co-host for being here for this episode today on Revolution Brewing. Thank you, good old boy Dave.
I see your Schwartz is as big as mine.
You see my Schwartz from here?
And good old boy Caperton.
I'm honored to sit in with you guys once again.
How would you use the word honored?
Honored.
Around us?
It just
Because we were talking about heroes.
Here's a 5.
Thank you. There's a lot of honorable heroes.
Well, hey, this is good old boy Mike asking you to come back, join us once again here on Sips, Suds, and Smokes, and I'm going to ask you to keep on sipping.
This has been a one-tan hand production of Sips, Suds, and Smokes, a program devoted to the appreciation of some of the finer slices of life. From the Dude in the Basement Studios, your hosts, the Good Old Boys, will see you all next time.